Bonjour. Aujourd'hui, on va discuter la négation. Hello. We are going to talk about negation today, or how to make things negative. Vous aurez besoin de votre cahier, bien sûr, un crayon ou un stylo. Puis, tenez la prochaine page. Please turn to the next page. Pour moi, c'est la page 17. Comme toujours, écrivez la date. Et la date pour aujourd'hui, c'est le 26. 10, 16. Et ça, c'est la négation. Or negation, how to make things negative. Now, you'll remember that in our current vocabulary, we have two expressions. We have j'aime, meaning I like, and we have variations on this, of course, but we also have je n'aime pas. I don't like. Okay, and these are our two main expressions. So we're going to talk about likes and dislikes, j'aime and je n'aime pas. Now you'll notice that the basic difference between the two of them is that this one has an N apostrophe pas, and this one has a J apostrophe. And the reason for the J apostrophe, of course, is because when you have je, the word je, in front of a vowel, it changes to J apostrophe. So here's how it works. La négation en français, c'est très facile. C'est facile comme bonjour. It's as easy as pie. So, en français. En français, one of the things you need to remember is that negative expressions have two or more parts. Negative expressions have two parts. There's one expression that has more than two parts, but for the most part, we'll leave it as two parts for today. The main way that this works is that part one is ne. And ne always goes in front of the verb. Always goes in front of the verb. So the second part of the negative expression varies, so there are different versions of it, and usually, and I'm going to really remind you that it's usually goes directly after the verb. Okay? So how does this work? The most common negative expression in French is ne pas. So let's talk about ne pas. Ne pas. And ne pas is the most common negative. Most common negative. It loosely translates as do or does not. Okay, so in general. So how does this work? Let's take the expression j'aime. Let's not take the expression j'aime. Let's take the expression je préfère. Let's deal with some other expressions today. Je préfère. To make this negative, I'm going to put the ne in front of the verb and the pas afterwards. It would be helpful if I could figure out which part of this was the verb. Je is the subject. It means I. This is who is doing the action. Préfère is the verb. So if I were to put my ne pas in there, je ne préfère pas. So I don't prefer, and whatever it is I don't prefer. Je ne préfère pas la limonade. I don't prefer lemonade. Limonade. Just to have something in our sentence. So here's part one of our negative, and here's part two. Now, let's actually talk about ne for a second. Ne, ça change, so changes to N apostrophe in front of a vowel, or silent H. Okay? So remember the ne changes to n apostrophe in front of a vowel, and we've seen that, right? Je n'aime pas, as a vowel. So I'm going to give you two more negative expressions that are very common in French. There are more, but you're only going to get these three because these are the most likely that you will see. So numéro 2, we have ne, jamais. Ne jamais means never. And this works exactly the same way. The ne goes in front of the verb, and the jamais goes after. Je ne jamais, ne visite jamais. You know, if I could speak French today, that would be terrific. Je ne visite jamais ma mère. I never visit my mother. And she yells at me for it all the time. Okay? And then the third one is ne rien. And ne rien means nothing. So, je n'aime rien is I like nothing or I don't like anything, depending on how you translate it. I like nothing. I don't like anything, and I'm going to squeeze that into the bottom of the page because this will be the end of our notes. However, rien itself means nothing, so in French, when you say you're welcome and you say de rien, you're literally saying it's nothing. So, s'il vous plaît, ça suffit pour aujourd'hui. This is enough for today. Tenez à l'indice et ajoutez cette information à l'indice. So, 26, 10, 16, la négation. C'est page 17. Merci, au revoir.